everybody? Yeah, it's been a little bit. I've just been wicked busy. And I thought I would just pop in and make a interesting little video. Well, a contest entry, actually. I am working on a bunch of other videos. I feel like I always say that, but it's true. I am working on them. I'm just busy. But yeah, so there is a YouTuber, Raul Serrano, and he has just hit over 100 subscribers now. And yeah, I discovered his channel recently through other people I follow also entering in this contest he has put out. And yeah, after I saw like Ben Brain Smasher and The Dark Path talk about him, I checked him out, and he seems like, a very calm, chill dude, just talking about how much he loves music and thrash, and I love people that are very passionate. And I thought it was very smart that he made this contest when he reached 100 subs to basically kind of get recs for people. It's a contest to show like 5 albums you really love or favorite albums from a specific genre. And it sounds like he wants to kind of break free a little bit or just explore, because I agree, there's tons of music and it's always awesome to explore. And yeah, I thought I'd give recs, so I'm kind of making this video almost like a point of view of me giving Mr. Raul some recs. I have kind of an interesting stack here of recs. I'm just doing 5. As you might have guessed, because of me and my channel, that I will be recommending some industrial, but I have a few choices that are a bit more just straight kind of electronic, but they definitely are within the industrial sphere, because I think that the choices I picked to show him will be really good, and I think he might enjoy them, especially if you want to check out the genre, or especially if you just want kind of a break from, if you listen to a genre a lot, I feel like it's good to like kind of just take a break and check out other stuff too. Even myself, I usually switch over like ambient or electronic and whatnot, even folk music. I don't know. I don't know what I'm rambling about, but yeah. Really quick, this isn't part of the stack, but just what we're listening to, but it's always worth checking out as well, so I guess kind of cheat, put a 6th entry in. This is Black Moth Super Rainbow, Start a People. And I actually got this when they were on tour, which was wicked cool, because this doesn't have a vinyl release. This only has a CD and this awesome tape shell release, but it's really good. So Black Moth Super Rainbow, I love them. They're on Graveface. Basically vintagey synths, lo-fi rock mixture, very, very psychedelic music. Basically, is the best way to describe it. I love this album. I don't know if you can hear that. I love that part. This album is just like, imagine you're bike riding at like 4 a.m. as the sun's coming up and it's starting to get bright, and you're just, and you can still kind of see your breath, but it's not really cold. It's just the morning cold. I don't know. I used to walk to work too, listen to this album a lot in that exact scenario. So it's just so good. This album makes me feel good. Think a lot of their stuff is great, but I think this is my favorite of theirs. But yeah, I would check that out. If you don't know, if you know the the group, the artist Tobacco, that's his other main group, was Black Moth Super Rainbow. So yeah, so let's see. You want to get into industrial or some electronic stuff. Don't know how much you know, but I will say that the ultimate industrial album, or for me, the end-all be-all, which I would suggest anybody at all looking into this genre, I do want to make a dedicated video specifically to this album, is the masterpiece that is SBK's Leichenshrei. Yes, this album is just insanely good. It's an album I would say is like perfect. It's just pure industrial. Yeah, so you just have lots of crazy samples, distorted guitars, you got like glass breaking samples, screaming, really kind of disturbing. People just talking about like experimentation, like on their bodies. I think when I think of industrial, I think of like being locked in a mad scientist basement in this factory, and this album completely invokes that feeling, but it's also just really fun to listen to. And I don't know, it's excellent. SBK were one of the best industrial groups. They are from Australia, and the main guy, Graham Revel, he actually does soundtracks now. He did the soundtrack for The Crow, but none of I wouldn't say a lot. Any of their more modern stuff or soundtracks are very indicative of how just brutal and amazing and just harsh and heavy and just dark and disturbing that they were. SPK were. Even Throbbing Gristle said that they were disturbed by SPK. Edward Caspell of Legendary Pink Dot says this is the most perfect industrial album, and I think so. I think this is the genre incarnate. So yeah, SPK's Leichenshrei. Definitely check that out if you have an interest in the genre. I picked this one out because I don't see a lot of people talk about this band, and I love it, and not just because I'm from Boston, but seeing as our friend Raul's from like a thrash background, not that this is necessarily thrash, but I think some of the albums have a bit more like goth rock vibe to them, or some kind of metal. So that is Sleep Chamber. Sleep Chamber is excellent industrial group as well. They are an American industrial group, and a big thing with a lot of American industrial that you hear is just really heavily distorted guitars and guitar riffs and the guitar feedback, and you definitely get that with Sleep Chamber. This specific album is a compilation called Sharp Spikes and Spurs, and I think this is a really good way to get into Sleep Chamber. I think it's somewhat of a compilation. It's got a few live tracks on it, but they sound excellent. It's got a few staples that you hear a lot, like Kiss the Whip, Of the Flesh, Fetish. Yeah, John Zuiz is hilarious. There's a lot of kind of like dark comedy to Sleep Chamber. The lyrics are great. It's just a fun time. It's basically a guy just making industrial because he likes making heavy music and he loves goth women, and yeah. They have a few more kind of serious albums too. They have some, let's see, I don't have everything, I wish I did, but this is another good one too. This is Sex Magic Ritual. This one's a bit more dark ambient, heavy stuff. That one's awesome. You can't really go along with which one you pick. Fetish is another great one. The lyrics are great. But yeah, I think Sleep Chamber is a good place to also start with industrial, get into it. I think it's fun, it's interesting, it's engaging. It's nothing too experimental or heavy as well. That's why I think American Industrial is a good place to start too, if people may be coming from a more metal backgrounds, because it's some industrial groups obviously are just super synth and sample only based, but a lot of American is a lot of guitar in it. Yeah, so check that out. I think you'd like that. So one of the more, I don't want to say odd choices, but different. This isn't straight industrial. It is an industrial group, but this album is hardly ever talked about, and it's one of the best albums ever made. It is just beautiful and calming, and I think my boyfriend described it as you go to a different place than where you were before you listened to this album, and I agree. It definitely takes you to a whole nother world. This is Cabaret Voltaire's The Conversation. So, also don't get intimidated by some of the lengths of this album, because I have one that's even longer than this. Some of these albums are very long. This is about 2.5 hours, but you don't have to listen to it all together. This is like a 4 LP, and the CDs as well. I think there are 2 discs. I don't remember. But these you definitely have to listen to at once, but they are very magical to listen to and very beautiful, and I think they're calming. But yeah, so Cabaret Voltaire is known as one of the first industrial groups, along with Throbbing Gristle, and that is true. But they always had a bit more of an electro kind of course in their sound, rather than Throbbing Gristle's very sound collage, chaotic, noisy sound, which I love. But this album is the peak of just like ambient sampling, a little bit of dub. It's just really, really pretty. People love the outro, Exterminating Angel. A lot of people really praise the track Project 80, which is a whole complete like one disc or one side. It's just a super long, just amazing like techno ambient electronic track. Really, really great. This is an album to totally just reset your mind, reset your, I know that sounds kind of corny, but yes, reset your just mind, your feelings, your body. This is another album that I heavily relate to because on weekends, a few years ago, I used to just walk to my jogs. I used to take the train to work, and the train didn't run on Saturdays, so when I used to go into the hospital, I would just stay up, and I would just go for I worked between two hospitals. One was a mental ward and one was a hospital, and they're about an hour away. So I would just walk to the other one afterwards, wait for my shifts, which was fine. But I used to walk at like 3 in the morning, and you'd just be like on these highways or just these, sleepy neighborhoods where literally nobody's awake. You're just alone in the world because everything's quiet and everyone's sleeping, and it's amazing. And you feel like you have the whole world to yourself. And I would just listen to this album so much in this like magical sleeping dark world on my way to work, and it was so suited to it. I loved it. I definitely felt like I was a whole other plane. But yeah, I wish more people talked to this album. It's great. This record's a bit hard to find. This was actually a gift I got from my boyfriend, so that's why it's not in a sleeve, because he's a heathen. But I was happy to find this for him. But yeah, really great stuff. I mean, you could also listen to any Cabaret Voltaire too. They're really fun. I think it's very hard to not enjoy a Cabaret Voltaire release. Okay, so here's one that I'm sure a lot of people will be happy that I'd be recommending, and this is a classic, and I think even if you're maybe not going to be super interested in industrial or kind of crazy electronic genres, I think you should check out this band anyway, and they have so many different genres of music. You might find something you like, but you gotta listen to Coil. This is Coil's Horse Rotorvator. And I believe this is probably the best entry point to get into them. I think anybody from any genre background could get into this record because it's just so good. The band really came into their own with this. Just the amazing duo. Rest in peace. Yeah. What is there to say? This is definitely one of those albums where it's like, what is there to say? Because so much has been said about this amazing album. But yeah, this is, just check out tracks like, the Anal Staircase. Opening track is fun, but I really, really love John Balance's singing this. I love his voice and slur. I love the violin strings in Ostia, the Death of Pasolini. You listen to like Penetralia, that's just like pure industrial bliss, the banging and the percussion, and it just sounds so deranged and fun. A lot of this sounds very deranged and fun, but this is definitely an experience, and I think you should have it, especially at Coil in general. Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with this album. I don't think you can go wrong with them in general. I think if you check out a few of their albums, if you don't quite enjoy this one, I think you could find something you could enjoy. Maybe something in Scatology, or Ape of Naples, Love's Secret Domain. If you get into more ambient stuff, or like if you like stuff like Tangerine Dream, listen to Music to Play in the Dark. All Coil's live albums are excellent. The Ambulance Died in His Arms is such a fantastic, depressing album. But yeah, just listen to Coil. That should be your main takeaway, maybe, from this whole video. Okay. So, the final album. I wanted to suggest this to you because this album and group is heavily influenced from like all industrial I mentioned. It's just like collective of just electronic they love, and they themselves are extremely influential to a lot of other people. I think if you're interested in electronic music, techno, electro, any of that, you should check out this band. This is, of course, Pansonic. And this is Pansonic's Kesto. I don't know if you can get that. It's kind of foiled in. It's hard to tell. I will be, I do have a new camera I'll be trying to test out, so hopefully you'll get better videos. But yeah, Pansonic, they were a Finnish electronic duo. They're heavily influenced by Coil, by Einstürzen Nubauten, by just tons of techno, everything that they loved, and you definitely get that with this. Yeah, this is a 234-minute long album, but obviously you don't have to listen to all one setting. And in fact, each section of the album kind of takes on a different genre. You have some that are kind of like a bit noisy, like harsh noise. You have some that are like breakcore, IDM. You have some that are just like techno and ambient, kind of like Cabaret Voltaire is the conversation. Oh. These are all the discs. This is a nice little CD box set. Again, I gifted my boyfriend. We get each other decent music, I suppose. But yeah, you definitely should at least check out some of this. I think anybody looking to get into electronic music needs to run the gauntlet of Pansonic, especially this one, Kesto. I feel like you will be transformed after hearing this. You will be enlightened. You will be in the know of amazing music. But yeah, yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. I hope you keep it up. Like I said, your YouTube channel looks very comfy and enjoyable. God, there's just so much I could wreck. It is awesome. But yeah, and keep loving music. And I hope more people just make their YouTube channels or watch, because you can just do it. I mean, I literally just turn on my phone and I put it on a tripod and I just film me talking about junk and just saying everything's really good. So anybody can do it, and you should. And the community is really nice and it's awesome. But yeah, so thank you for watching. I will link his channel down below, and I think the cutoff for the contest is the 27th. So everybody jump in and give him subs and recommendations and all that good stuff. So yeah. Again, I will see you guys next time. Use a giant pencil for big problems. So yeah, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.